welcome here to Sambari. This is only the second time I've been out here in the past like 3 years, I think. A beautiful day. I was not expecting it to be beautiful because the weather was saying it was gonna be really, really crummy out. But it was a challenging flight getting out here. More than likely be a challenging flight getting back. There's so many clouds. I'm hoping to do the instrument approach back into Goroka. So we're gonna get our plane unloaded, load up with about 1,500 pounds of raw coffee beans, and get out on a 20-minute flight. Alright, replay, come out. Alright, all that is something come out. Alright. Okay, well, they're just now finishing up unloading the plane. I need to figure out how much I can get for them. So we've got 3 seats I'm going to put in the back, all 3 of those, okay? And we've got a takeoff penalty of 200 kgs coming out of here just because it's a slope, it's dry out. I do have maybe 1 knot of headwind for actual takeoff. I don't have any seats on board. I've got 590 pounds. I can do 746 kgs. Kisim 746 kgs lo coffee. Just sleeping lo yet now yet. But I'm training about something lo cabin below me past time. Before we load up that coffee, let me tell you about today's video sponsor, Incogni. Because, well, most people don't realize a lot of your data is actually floating around online. That means your addresses, your phone numbers, your email addresses, even your family names can be found online. You see, it's all sitting on people's search sites, marketing databases, and broker data lists that are bought and sold every single day. And well, that's where today's video sponsor, Incogni, comes in to help, because it's a privacy service that goes and hunts down all of your information on all those websites and gets it deleted automatically. With just a few clicks, Incogni legally contacts those companies and tells them to remove your information, and they have to comply. But here's where it gets really powerful. Incogni's new custom data removal feature. Maybe you've Googled yourself online before, found your information on some random website or some directory, and you don't know how to get the information off of there. Now, just send the link over to Incogni, and their team of experts will go ahead and contact that company for you and get your information wiped. And Incogni doesn't just stop at the first sweep. They keep monitoring and following up because, well, data keeps popping up. What does this mean? Well, this means less spam emails, less spam phone calls, and a whole lot more peace of mind. They can't harm you if they can't find you. So take back your personal data with Incogni today by using my code BUSHPILOT or heading over to the link down below in the description. Save 60% off of an annual plan, or head over to incogni.com/bushpilot. Thanks Incogni for sponsoring this video. All right, let's get back to the flight. All right. I'm going to go ahead and set this net up here as just one more barrier of protection for me up front if I were to go off the runway or whatever else. It would just protect all of this coffee, in theory, from smushing me into the front window. I think we're ready to put the coffee in here. I actually have to write them a receipt though, and then we're ready to go. Yeah, sorry, plenty time me rausim door taso. As pro barosim close to my son by just piting this la. So you can sleep him right here and I just up him. Okay, we've got 590 pounds of fuel. We are now finally ready to go. I'm thinking the weather's probably going to have cleared up a little bit since I left Goroka a couple of hours ago, but we will see. We're going to try to shoot the approach regardless if it's good or not. Go ahead and get started though. Do low start, and you guys can see I'm on probably like a 12% side slope right now. So I want to get started, head to the top as soon as I can, so all my fuel from my right tank doesn't just get drained into my left tank through the vent. First, I'm going to do a local call in case anybody's coming in.
All stations Sambari 1207, Kodiak November Tango Zulu. We're back taxiing for departure Goroka. All stations Sambari. Moresby 6622 November Tango Zulu, taxi. November Tango Zulu, taxi Sambari, Goroka, 1 POV.
November Tango Zulu, copy taxi, no report to traffic.
November Tango Zulu. I'm pushing forward on the yoke right here. Just so that I don't hit any bump and it doesn't, I'm not that far FCG, you guys can see up here in the corner. About 2/3 of the way back, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and turn around up here, and all the kids are sitting back there waiting to be blasted with the prop. Come on. Go kind of beta just so we don't slide down on this slippery red dirt. Try to get the nose wheel straight, and there we go. Just keep it in beta just for a second so it's not pulling us down the hill. Okay, our fuel, our caps, and our selectors have all been checked, set, and input. Controls are good. Terrain awareness is off. Switches and instruments, we're rotating at 61 knots. And 71 if we had to come back in. We're going to go all the way up to 10,000, I believe, on the way home. Flaps are set, indicated, verified at 20. Okay, we're going to be airspeed alive by the taxi bay, those yellow cones up there on the left, or we'll stop on the runway. We've got a really nice headwind now for takeoff. It's increased up to probably about a 7-knot headwind. Still kind of crosswind, but still much more headwind now as well, which is great. After takeoff, we'll pitch for 85 knots, considering EPL on a left-hand turn, considering feather. If we're going down, cut off, pull off, and shut off. Emergencies, masters, crack my door close to ground. Full flaps before I do master. Mission condition, flaps 20, fuel harnesses, and prop. All stations Sambari, November Tango Zulu rolling. Will be a right-hand turnout for Goroka on climb 10,000, all stations Sambari. We're going to use 55% of the runway today. We will see. Alright, 31 degrees at 3,000, 3,000, 30, 1420, so 1370. Let's go. $1370, there's 720, brakes release. Airspeed's alive, 734 on the ITT. There we go. Yeah, I'd say 55%. Wasn't bad, maybe 60% at most. Got a 9-knot headwind now. Good thing we got in when we did. We didn't have a 9-knot tailwind coming in because I probably wouldn't have landed with a 9-knot tailwind. Bring our ITT back just a little bit. 740. There we go. Once we're up over 85 knots, we'll start cleaning our flaps up. Coming on up to 10,000 feet. It was a very cloudy one. If you did not see the video right before this, it was a very cloudy day. I had to wait till 11 o'clock almost to get out of Goroka. I had commercial passengers and I had to stay VFR, which makes it much more difficult to have to stay VFR. Even though we're IFR rated, which means you can fly through clouds, you're probably going to get any single engine unless you have special waivers for specifically commercial passengers. Yeah, it makes your life a lot harder. We are going to go and look for the gap that I came in was right over here at 7,500. Let's throw our terrain on so you guys can see a little bit. We might have to go around that mountain on our climb. Moresby 6622 November Tango Zulu departure.
November Tango Zulu, go ahead.
November Tango Zulu departed Sambari at time 54. We'll be tracking up to 10 miles left and right of track 339er on climb 10,000, estimating Goroka at time 20.
Tango Zulu, second level.
On climb not above 10,000, November Tango Zulu.
Tango Zulu, copy, not above 10,000, no report.
November Tango Zulu. we'll wiggle our way through these clouds. Once we get around this corner down here, then we'll start trying to track back over here, and then probably more than likely what we'll do is we'll just set ourselves up to fly inbound on our IFR charts that we've created ourselves. I am planning on coming around here, onto that, over to here, into there, and then on the approach. That's the plan. You guys can see I'm just at the end of it now, and you can see also right out here in front of me, all of the clouds just drop off. It's really nice being able to have the technology that we have available to us. It makes flying in an environment like Papua New Guinea so much easier, and a lot more fun, and a lot less stressful. Well, let's go ahead and put in our 41 Sega here. It's just a point that we have developed ourselves to get into the Goroka Valley, the lowest that we possibly can in the middle of all of the valleys. Next, we're going to want YGSA, but that's also part of the approach. So if we select approach right here, we want the Yankee approach. You can see it's an LNAV plus V, so it's just basically a regular GPS, and then the plus V is a vertical guidance that is built into the Garmin system. So it's not really part of the actual approach, but it is a nice addition. We'll go via Sierra Alpha, minimums, and all the way up to 6100, I believe. Approach. 6100 feet if we have QNH, and 62 if not. We will not have QNH today because the tower has not been able to give it to us for some reason for a while now. Enter and load. There we go. Now we're going to come over here and highlight all these into cyan. It says 12.6 is the minimum safe, but we as a company have designed our own routes to go on specific routes through the valleys that will get us down to 9,700 all the way in. So here we go. Now we're going to come over here or over here. So we're probably going to just cut straight into right there because this is the beginning of our approach. And the weather has cleared up. Like I said, if you saw the previous one, you would have seen all super low clouds, kind of drizzly rain everywhere through here, but it's looking phenomenal now. What we can do is actually just activate the approach, and that will just put a direct to that point. Then we can just hit nav on our autopilot. Obviously is wanting to connect very aggressively. And then you can see we're almost up to 10,000, so I'm just going to hit vertical speed and altitude select on my autopilot. That's going to level me off right at 10,000. Now, with this particular approach, it's a really, I don't like this approach. It's the way it's designed. It doesn't give the airplane, maybe it's just this autopilot, it doesn't give it a lot of time to think, so you kind of have to like hold its hand to really get it to fly the approach well. I'll show you guys when we get closer in here. I'm not technically at my minimum safe here, so I'm going to have to actually go back to heading mode, come further over here into the big valley where that 9,700 track is, and then go around some of these clouds or go up higher, but I don't really want to go up higher. We've got a few sprinkles out here, but man, it's really clearing up super nice. Alright, well, let's go over the approach. We'll be coming up on the screen here, way down in here area. So let's just go ahead and actually, there we go, let's activate that leg. There we go. Now, when I come back to my big screen, I'll have something particular to actually join in on. In case I were to go inadvertent IMC or choose to go IMC, basically choose to go through clouds, then I know I can get on that magenta track right there at 9,700 and I'm safe. But we're going to go ahead and join in to Sierra Alpha right there. But we're going to join in at 9.7. So the SMA is sector minimum altitude of 9,700. So basically from that point on, I can be at 9,700. Well, I know with my charts, I can be at 9,700 before that. So we're going to just stay at 9,700 all in Sierra India. That's my final approach fix, or correction, that's my intermediate fix. You have the little IF right there. And it's going to be a right-hand turn and immediately start descending. So that's where this approach with this autopilot just creates a lot more work for us pilots being single pilot. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to manipulate our autopilot, and we're just going to have to keep it on basically nav GPSS, so GPS steer, and then we're going to have to manually crank the vertical speed down once it starts going down. Then we have to switch it over to the approach mode, and then we have to hit altitude twice to force that glide slope. Remember how I was saying that there's a plus V? It's basically a glide slope, but it forces the glide slope to actually connect. Otherwise, it won't connect to the plus V, and then you just have to manually fly it down. Not impossible, but if it says it can do it, sure, it would be nice if we could just use it. All right, now that we're level at 10,000, let's bring our torque right on back to 1250, a prop to 2,000. There we go. Do any last minute trims. Still not quite there, so let's just head on over through these clouds until we can get on top of our actual track. All right, well, here's all the crummy weather. I knew there was supposed to be some along this route. I'm sure we could probably find our way through here, but it's all right. There we go. Now it's actually tracking to where I actually want it. Oh, look at that. Open's wide open. It's kind of like I was saying earlier. We've got our tracks right in the middle of all the valleys, so once I got to the middle of the valley, it opened right up, but it's all right. Now we can go ahead and hit procedure, activate the approach, make sure autopilot is on nav GPSS and altitude select. We'll just stay at 10,000 for the time being. Let's start up our buddy check for landing. We've got our selectors, our brakes. Our terrain awareness is on right now because we are IMC. Our VREF, which is our landing speed, if we come over here to the landing performance tab, it's 71 knots coming back into Goroka, which is already there. Our lights in our inlet, we can flip them on now just as our workload is starting to increase once we get closer up here. Looks like we do have some rain showers just straight ahead of us. I want to get as much done as I possibly can so that I'm not having to worry about my pre-landing checklist while things are really ramping up and my workload's through the roof. Okay? Abort. If we had to go around on this one, be at 6,200 feet. Power up, 0 degrees, so pickle pitch power, and flaps with the right hand turn back out Sierra Hotel for the mist. Looks like we might get some rain, so I'm going to throw my igniters, pitot heat's on, my bypass is already good. That is done. We'll throw our harnesses on in case we have any turbulence through here. Once we get past Sierra Alpha up here, we'll go down to 9,700 feet along that route right there. Another thing I don't particularly like about this, if you guys can see over here, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just crummy weather over here. This approach, to get you lined up far enough out to where all the airlines could actually also utilize it, it really puts you close to the mountains, which really puts you where the worst part of the weather is. So 9.9 times out of 10, if it is in the afternoon like it is now at 1:11 in the afternoon, I would be heading over that direction every single time, no matter what, because I'm going to be able to find a VFR route, a visual route going in over there way before I want to necessarily fly through a bunch of storms in the afternoon over here. But this isn't built up that much today. It's pretty stable. I need to call up Goroka Tower when I get to Sierra Alpha to get the latest reported QNH. I'm guessing probably 1022. Goroka Tower, November Tango Zulu.
New outbound south of Coco, not above 10,000 to POB4.
Okay, Michael for Golf, Goroka Tower, taxi runway 17 right, clear to enter, backtrack and line up. QNH from Tower, not available, wind 050 degrees at 6 knots, temperature 21.
Taxi 17 right, roger, and I'm making QNH at the moment 018, Michael for Golf.
Michael for Golf, Corbett 1018.
Goroka Tower, November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, good day, Goroka Tower, go ahead.
Good day, November Tango Zulu 2, 3 nautical miles to the south 10,000. Requesting to shoot the RNAV GNSS 35 left Currently overhead Sierra Alpha this time, copy Mike Alpha Golf, and copy reported 1018. We'll report again at Sierra India at time 15.
November Tango Zulu, runway 35 left, copied the RNAV approach. And traffic, Mike Alpha Golf will be outbound for Karamoy and taxiing to line out this time. Call again, Sierra India.
Copy Mike Alpha Golf, call again Sierra India, November Tango Zulu. Alright, well, I've set up 1018 right here, and then on my secondary down here, I've set up 1018. I'm on the approach now, on the actual plate. We're going down to 9,700 very slowly, but at 9,700 feet, we're slowing down to 110. We're kind of leveling off now, so I'm going to bring my power right back up to about 800. Now it's going to hold my 110, so there we go. Top-end harness is complete. Okay, so this says GPS terminal. Once I make the turn and fully commit to that turn, and that switches over from white to magenta, then this will actually switch to the approach. That's when the autopilot knows that I'm on the approach, and then it will track a little bit better. So I'm going to hold this. We're going to be starting our turn here in just a second. We can actually flip pitot heats off, igniters off, because looks like we'll stay out of the rain now. 50 seconds yet to go until we get to Sierra Alpha, or correction, Sierra India. I'm going to hit this button. I'm going to be coming down at 110 knots, so that comes out to be about 600 feet per minute. So I'm going to flip this, turn it to 600 feet. Once this flips over, I'm going to hit approach, and then altitude, altitude.
November Tango Zulu, traffic, right hand this time, outbound for Karamoy. Call again, Sierra India.
November Tango Zulu, we are 20 seconds from overhead at Sierra India and copy outbound traffic. November Tango Zulu. Estimating your circuit at time 21.
Alpha Tango Zulu, call again, finals 35 left.
Call again, finals 35 left, November Tango Zulu, and we'll be requesting 35 right once we break out.
Alpha Tango Zulu.
I went the wrong way because I was talking to him. There we go. Let's just do autopilot off. Now you guys can see LNAV plus V. I hit approach. All right, we're back in the rain a little bit, but we are on here. We've got this set up. We've got our glide slope connected, but you can see it doesn't track very great. Don't really know why exactly, but let's just bump in my power just a tiny bit so that we can get our speeds right up to 110. We're breaking out now. Let's flip those two things back off. But it's a lot of button pushing and knob twisting. Again, I don't really like it all that much. I'm on the approach right here, and it's flying way off to the side. That's kind of how annoying this approach is. I just don't really like it. And some of it might be partially due to the autopilot. It was tracking off to the right a tiny bit last week when I was flying it, so we might need to make a slight adjustment through that tiny little hole right here. Now that I'm back on here, if I wanted to, I could hit approach, and then altitude twice, and then it reconnects to the approach. We'll see if it flies the last half any better. I'm just adjusting my power settings to keep my 110 knots as I come down. So if I'm below 110, I just add a tiny bit of power, and vice versa if I'm over. Now it's seeming to track just fine in there. Not really sure why it is now. We're almost up to Sierra Gulf now, which means our next step down would be 6,200. It was reported, so I can actually turn this down to 6,100 feet if I wanted to by coming over here, rolling down here, and turning that to 6,100 feet. It changes my baro minimums. Now I'm broken out. I hit nearest. I'm 7.6 nautical miles from the field, so when I get to 5 nautical miles, I'll say I'm 5 miles final and request 35 right. You can see these boxes are almost becoming a little bit more square. They were really long and now they're kind of going like this. It's because the closer you get, they actually get more accurate and they actually move in. So it starts out at 1 mile and then goes all the way down into 350 feet of accuracy. That's why they keep changing.
Sierra Delta Alpha for Guasa, request taxi with 7 TLB.
November Tango Zulu, 4.6 nautical mile final. We can take 3-5 laps with Sierra Delta Alpha, can backtrack.
November Tango Zulu, copy that. Runway 35 left, clear to land.
Clear to land 3-5 left, November Tango Zulu. Make it easier for the other airplane because he's right at our ramp, and if he gives,
Alpha, good day, Goroka.
if he gives me landing clearance on the right, then he can't back taxi, he has to wait for me to fully land. There we go.
Light and verbal at the stage, temperature 23.
Taxi, backtrack 17 left and line up. Cover conditions, Delta Alpha, thank you.
To keep his day moving, that's what I would appreciate another pilot doing for me.
Delta Alpha confirm, taxiing for Guasa.
Affirmative, Sierra Delta Alpha.
Sierra Delta Alpha.
Right, we are 3 mile final. You can see we got 2 red on the left, 2 white on the right, and then on the other side we've got 2 white and 2 red. So still right on good. And if you also point that little green circle right there just to the end of the runway, you'll get exactly where you want to.
Goroka Tower Alpha Hotel Papa.
Alpha to Papa, stand by for taxi. Aircraft on finals this time, 35 left.
Standing by, Alpha Hotel Papa.
2 knot tailwind, 4 knot kind of quartering tailwind. We'll just come in at 85 knots with 20 degrees of flaps. Just slowly, I'm at 95 knots, so I'm just kind of slowly bleeding off. I will float a little bit more, so I actually have to aim a little bit earlier if I want to land kind of at those 1,000-foot markers. Which, I don't know which ones they are because there's so many of them out here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull my power now. We'll just keep probably floating, floating, floating. Just right past it. Below idle. There you go. Weather was quite a bit better. Like I said earlier, if you have not seen the previous video, go check that out on my channel. I think you guys will enjoy that one.
Delta Alpha ready.
Sierra Delta Alpha, 17 left, right in, clear for takeoff.
Right in, clear for takeoff, Sierra Delta Alpha.
Alright, here's the PAC 750 heading out. Oh buddy, he looks heavy. Wow, he took 3/4 of the runway to take off.
November Tango Zulu, clear to cross 35 left.
Clear to cross 35 left, November Tango Zulu. And
November Tango Zulu, apologies, 35 right.
clear to cross 35 right, November Tango Zulu. Thanks for joining, you guys. I do appreciate you guys watching my videos. I really do. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel and getting something cool, I have this coffee table album that I made for you guys covering 40 different locations I go to, and Sambari is one of those locations. So got a ton of drone things, history, culture, all kinds of really cool things for you guys. I do worldwide shipping, so go check out some other videos. Consider subscribing if you're not already, and hope to see you guys next time.
Remember, your personal information is valuable. Don't leave it out there for anyone to use. Take back your data and keep it private where it belongs. Click the link below or head over to incogni.com/bushpilot. Use my code bushpilot at checkout to get 60% off an annual plan. Thanks Incogni for sponsoring this video.